Hello everyone, this is Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. And you're going to have the opportunity to travel with Phil Scott to
sunny South Africa. You guys are going to have the opportunity to come to Johannesburg, and you guys are going to be coming to Durban. And we're going to set it up perfectly. It's going to be like a luxury experience for you guys. At the same time, you're going to be getting some culture. And of course, you're going to get an opportunity to talk to Phil, hang out with Phil, and get his views on Africa and South Africa.
You're also going to get an opportunity to explore the lifestyles here that are available in South Africa. And we're going to do all that for you in an amazing 10 days. We do hope that you go to the website and book, because we do look forward to seeing you here.
Absolutely. Our website is therealsouthafrica.com. Go there, scroll down. You'll see a picture of Phil, and just go ahead and book there. So we'll see you here in what we like to call sunny South Africa.
So there's a food critic that's pretty popular by the name of Keith Lee. You know, a lot of his videos on TikTok and Facebook and any other platform. So what Keith Lee likes to do, he goes to different restaurants and he, gives his food review, based off the food, customer service, prices, policies. And it's good to have people like that just to let you kind of know. Because I like when a guy like Keith Lee let me know basically to save my money, don't go to this particular restaurant, right? So recently Keith Lee went to Atlanta. A lot of people have been complaining about the restaurant scene in Atlanta, and Keith Lee went over there to do his job, which is a great thing. But when Keith Lee had found some issues with certain restaurants, like he's done everywhere else, I want you to hear what black folks, which is very despicable, what black folks said, to this man. And remember, he brought his family with him as well. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Okay, let's talk about it. Every restaurant that me and my family go to, we were either A, invited by the restaurant themselves, or B, was told about the restaurant 100+ times. From locals, from people who mention me, from people who email me, DM me. 99% of the time, I never go to a random restaurant. With that being said, my opinion was asked for. So many narratives being pushed, and it's insane to me. But let's be honest. What else do you want from me? If I go to a bunch of restaurants and have a string of good experiences, then I'm being too nice, I'm lying, the narrative is being pushed that my eye roll is fake, and I'm lying just to help people. Then on the same hand, if I go to 2 or 3 restaurants where I don't have the best experience, now I'm tearing down businesses, now I'm being mean, now I need to shut up, now I need to mind my business, I need to sit down. Again, I can't win for losing. I understand everybody gonna have an opinion on the situation. You can disagree with me, you cannot like what I say. Completely understand, and I'm okay with that. But when my safety and my family safety start coming into play, that's where I draw the line at. But what can't happen is when my family or the restaurants or anybody's safety start coming into play. It's absolutely overboard. Especially when I was asked to give my opinion. Because you telling me my opinion only matter if it's positive. Because if it's positive, you got my face plastered on the wall and you saying Keith Lee been here. But if it's negative, I need to sit down somewhere and you don't know who I am. That's crazy to me. It was so much positive that happened in Atlanta that was shunned by the negative. It was so many restaurants we was blessed enough to help. We went to an array of restaurants like we always do at every city. I'm gonna be 100% transparent, 100% candid. Me and my family will postpone touring if other cities gonna be like this. Every review not gonna be the best. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If you want me to come, please understand, I will be honest. I don't mean no harm. I don't have no malicious intent. I mean that, and when I say it, I mean it. People be like, well, you know what you're doing. You know if you give a bad review, people gonna come and flood it with hate comments. What else do you want me to do?
Now, that's despicable. Y'all are sitting up here threatening this man's life, threatening his family because he told you your customer service suck. So that's what warrant violence, really? This man had called out, Candy's restaurant, Old Lady Gang, for not doing takeout. Who don't do takeout? Really? So you miss out on all that money, so much money you missing out on. Now, Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, all these different places like that do takeout. And these are $1 million corporations. And you don't want to do takeout? Okay, that's money you're going to miss out on. Then this other restaurant he reviewed, the Real Milk and Honey, out there in Atlanta. He gave his opinion on them and what he did not like. And the owners got online and they started just being nasty and just people just going in on this man. Then you have people had this narrative, well, he shouldn't be talking down on black businesses like that. He's going to ruin a black business. Let me tell you something. You're in business, okay? Yes, you're black. You own it. Great. But you're in business and you're competing. And in the midst of competition, you got to perform well. You got to listen to feedback in business. You got to have the goal of exceeding customer service. You got to pay attention to prices if they need to go up or down. And you don't need to be mediocre. Because see, what I don't like in this black community, just because something's black, it has to be mediocre, and we have to accept mediocrity. So when you go to the businesses that's owned by, the folks, you like going over there because they want to do things at a high standard, high customer service, whatever, right? Let's say if Keith Lee went to the Cheesecake Factory and he made that exact same video criticizing certain things. I don't think the manager would have called Keith Lee threatening him. I don't think they would have told him, why is he trying to hurt white-owned businesses? Well, normally how they responded, oh, Mr. Lee, we're sorry about that. Listen, we had took care of the issue and problem. We are saying, can you please bring your family back? That everything's on us. We just want to make sure it's right by you, sir. That day, that's how they would have handled it. And that's how y'all should handle it. Let me tell you how I look at business. You look at the people who is the top of the top and study them. Look at what they do, what their habits could be, at least what they do. And can you match that? And matter of fact, can you exceed that in your own way? I'm not saying mimic what they do, like everything they do, no. But I'm saying the principles of what they do, right? Like, do they produce a certain amount of whatever? Like me, do they produce a certain amount of content? Do they produce daily? Do they try to do things professional as possible, right? How are the people presenting themselves dressed? Listen to feedback. Is the audience not liking certain things? Is the audience paying attention to it? Because I'm a firm believer of this. I don't get mad at my audience when too many people telling me the same thing. I'll say, okay, this is something they're not liking. So we need to switch some things up, right? I don't fuss people out, cuss people out. I've even had people that I personally liked that was on this platform. But when the people start having too much of a problem with them, and I noticed it was a constant thing, I have to consider that and say, look, this is not gonna work out for them because the people are not feeling you. Much as I may like you personally, the people are not feeling you, so we gotta move around. It's just part of the business. It's just part of it, right? But you have to listen to feedback in business, and you can't threaten people. So you're gonna risk getting a case? Because you can get a case. If Keith Lee would take that to the Atlanta Police Department, they can get you for terroristic threats. Like, just because he don't like some food or y'all, charging this gratuity charges, because some of y'all black restaurants are doing too much. Even right here in Houston, y'all doing too much. You're charging $20 to park everywhere in some of these places. You're charging a gratuity up front. Now you're saying, oh, because people don't tip. Well, let's be real. Tipping is not required. It's not a law. Tipping is a choice. Now, I don't mind tipping people. I don't. Matter of fact, I went and ate with my family last night. Went and we had a good meal at Papa Do's. And a brother did, great customer service. I gave the brother a $50 tip because I wanted to. But I would take an issue if it's a gratuity. Matter of fact, if you charge me a gratuity, I'm not giving you no more than that. I'm not giving you nothing. Actually, you get more out of me not charging me a gratuity, actually. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, if I would open up a restaurant, I would make sure my staff is paid right. In other words, I would pay my staff $15 an hour. And they can get tips. What? You would pay them $15? Yes, because I believe that $15 an hour should be minimum wage. I don't have to have the government to tell me that minimum wage should be $15 an hour. You can just go ahead and do that. Like my wife was talking about, bringing somebody in to help her do some things. You're like, well, what do you think I should pay them? $15 an hour. I'll say because that's a good minimum wage to start. Because why you want your people? You got people working for you, and then they on food stamps. What kind of job is that? That's how I feel about it. But I'm different. than most of your if most of your corporations thought like me, we wouldn't be having problems in America. Everybody should be getting paid. I would say in California, New York, $20 an hour minimum wage. Down south, 15. Just my opinion. And I used to say less than that down south. I used to say 10 and maybe 15, but in California, New York. But since inflation, I say it needs to be 20 and 15, right? Up north, it kind of depends. Some places you can do 20, some 15, but definitely in the central time zone, 15. That's just my opinion. But most people don't think like me at all. They want to try to screw people over. And I believe in investing in people. And if you invest in people, I believe, from my experience, you get that back in the end. A lot more than anything else by just investing in people. But don't do brother like that. Don't do him that. Because if y'all run up on him, that brother used to be an MMA fighter, right? So don't run up on him because he's going to put you on your back. And if he do, you deserve it.